In this episode, we have Repurposing Roses, Balooby, you'll find out what that is later, and Soba.
I'm Sienna.
And I'm Toast.
We've been partners in life, love, and music since 2001, and we believe life is best lived as a love story. Your love story.
After all, to love well is to live well. For more, check out siennaandtoast.com. But for now, here's this episode. Welcome to the Love Story Podcast.
Love story?
Life is best lived as a love story.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's a romantic comedy. It's a drama. It's a thriller. There's all of those.
It's a documentary.
It's a reality show. It's a competition. You know, I have to say that, well, first of all, that phrase, I have to say, I think I picked it up from you because I'm
What
listening
phrase?
to myself. When you or I say, you know, I have to say, right? And you're talking and you just like, I just have
Do
to
I say that?
I feel like you said that a lot.
Oh.
And now I'm
You say it.
realizing that I say it a lot. So I don't know. But anyways, it's crazy how TV has turned so many things into a competition. Like we are now living with a huge portion of the adult population who did not know a time before The Bachelor was a competition on TV, which might explain a lot. Sienna did not know, neither did I, that I was going to start this episode on this rant. But here we are.
Here we are.
Welcome to this episode.
This episode, we are going to talk about repurposing roses.
Roses.
We're going to tell you a little bit about saying goodbye to Balooby. It's not a
Bye-bye,
cat.
Balooby.
It's not a cat that we have or
Nope.
any animal.
Nope. Bye-bye, Balooby.
And we're going to talk a little bit about our new find in Soba.
Oh, but first, just a quick reminder. We do have that special project that we will be unveiling. The planned release date
That's
is
right.
March 19th, which is a
Yes.
Thursday. We're having it correspond with the seasons.
Yes, so this will be released right upon the spring equinox.
For the Northern Hemisphere people.
Yes, and it is a product tailored for couples, or even if it's just one person of a couple that really has, really wants to create a new vision for their relationship. Did I say too much again? I don't know. Maybe I did. Is that too much? Anyways.
Oh my God. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are around this. But we just wanted to remind you that that's coming March 19th.
So for the couples out there.
Yes, especially in the LGBTQ plus community.
Yes.
Because, you know, there's a lot of stuff for couples out there. But what about couples in the LGBTQ plus community?
Well,
And
actually,
here's the thing. It's not that...
here's the thing.
there's
That's
so
mine.
much-
That's
Is
mine.
that your thing?
That's the one I always say.
I think you say both.
I say,
I think both
wait,
of us say
but
both.
here's the thing. I always have to say, wait. I don't know why. Wait, here's the thing.
That can be a whole podcast episode. We can talk about verbal tics because there are so many of them that poke out at me as I listen to media and hear ourselves even as I'm hearing my... Okay. See, we're going off on all these
because
tangents.
you re-listen to the podcast after we record it, right? Because you
Almost all the time.
put together some of the notes.
Almost all the time
I
for
never
post-production.
do, except for the sex podcast. That one I did. I had to go, okay, wait, what the
What
heck was
am
I saying?
Am I really talking about sex here?
I think you say, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That's what you tell me. And I'm like, oh, duh, yes, I get it. I got it, Toast.
Okay, we have to save up all of these notes for a future episode. I'm serious. We should write this down. Here, I'm going to grab
You write
some
it.
paper.
Okay.
I'm going to put a note.
Oh, like
But
the
what were we-
old-fashioned kind of notes?
Yeah, just
okay,
because
in
I
your
don't have
phone.
my Google Sheet in front of me right now or other yada yada.
We
I'm
are
gonna
such
call it
geeks.
verbal tics.
Is it really a tick? I don't know if it's a tick.
It's a verbal tick.
I don't know if I like that. All right. Are you done?
I think I'm done ticking for that. Yeah, with that. Wait, wasn't I going to say something?
I don't know.
And then
you were talking about competitions, television,
here's
The
what
Bachelor, The World Today.
Here's what it was. I had said, there's a lot of things for couples out there, but there's not a lot of things for couples in the LGBTQ plus community.
Oh, true. Yes.
And what I was going to further elaborate on and clarify was to say that not that there's a huge difference, really. At its essence, these are all human relationships.
Okay.
Is my point.
Okay.
These are relationships based on commitment, monogamy, love, respect, right? At its core,
yeah.
It's all the same thing at its core. And that's why we have been fighting for simple human equality, because we're all the same at core. But because our community has been on the receiving end of such judgment, condemnation, and discrimination, we now have a complex about it. And so it helps to have media and support and encouragement from a vocally and uniquely
tailored
LGBTQ plus supportive place.
Yes. You are fired up, and I didn't even give you coffee.
Okay. But that's what I wanted to say.
Okay. That was worth saying.
Well, thank you. Are we now ready?
Yeah, I am just open. I'm like, hey, where's this going now? What do you want to say next? Okay, so do you have anything else?
No.
I'm like, we should can our plan.
I know, right? I'm looking at the
talk
notes
about anything else.
and it's supposed to be about repurposing roses.
I know. People are probably like, no, let's talk about. Keep going. All right. Well, I'm sorry if this is boring to you all now because. Repurposing roses. I'm going to go for it because I still think this is a project worth sharing.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
Okay, so if you listen to our Valentine's Day episode, Toast got me these beautiful 24 multicolored. What is it called?
Roses.
Roses, but what is it?
A bouquet?
No.
A spray?
No.
Well, they were not red, which was, I'm glad we made that choice. You and I made that choice together. Fair trade?
Fair trade.
Oh,
yes,
okay. Organic,
fair trade.
fair
I'm sorry.
trade.
Yes, fair trade. Okay. So it was actually, I think because it's so cold here, the roses, some of them bloomed further. Others stayed miraculously like just a half open bud, which was beautiful. Others, they were dried, beautifully dried on the outside, but fresh spanking new in the middle. And it's been a long time since Valentine's Day. You know, only last week I started to, I had the idea of repurposing the roses because I couldn't just throw them out. I was like, they're still so beautiful. I want to dry them. So we took all the petals off of all 24 roses. And right now we have them on cookie sheets. So what our plan is to actually dry these roses out. Now, you can do it in various ways. You can actually dry them out in your oven by putting parchment paper on cookie sheets and then putting them in the oven at like 180 degrees to 200 degrees for a few minutes. And you have to just really watch it. Okay. Also, too, I would hesitate doing that if you say, if the roses are not organic or clean
because of the pesticides.
I would worry about that.
That makes sense.
I don't know if it's a true concern, but I would. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So so even though we could dry our roses out in the oven, mm-hmm. I think it's going to take too long because we're dealing with 24 roses and all those petals, right? Because one important thing when you put them on the cookie sheet is you want to make sure that they are in a single layer.
Okay.
Not touching everybody and all that kind of stuff, right? You also want to flip them. I mean, it's very
really?
entailed.
Wow. Yeah.
So, but if you don't have that many roses and you're up for it, I think that's a really nice way to do it. And you want to get them crispy. A shortcut way is to do a large dinner plate, put some paper towel down, and then put your rose petals on it, and then put them in the microwave, which sounds crazy, right? It's like, it just feels wrong to microwave roses. But that, I researched, is a way you can also do it where it's quicker. You don't have to be watching them all the time, and you are just putting them in the microwave on high.
Wow, on high.
For like 30-second increments.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're just waiting until they're kind of crispy. So right now, we're not doing either of those. We are actually leaving them on the tray, and where they are situated is right under our heating.
The vents, the hot air comes out of the vent there.
So they've actually been drying over the past days, and they look really pretty. What we're planning to do is to put some of these dried roses in really pretty glass jars, and then I will probably spruce them up with some great organic essential oil of geranium rose, and I think it's going to smell and look amazing.
So it's like a DIY potpourri type of thing.
Kind of, yeah.
I'm so glad you had the idea and you wanted to do this.
Well, because the roses were like 3 weeks. We were 3 weeks in. That's kind of long, right? But they lasted that long. And they were still...
Was it that long?
Yeah, they were still so beautiful.
Well, what I love is that it's a whole
Not
another
3 weeks,
use
2
of
weeks,
them.
2 weeks and a little. Maybe 2 weeks and a little.
3 weeks maybe. But it's a whole nother use for them because, when you first get them and they're fresh and they're bright and smiling and youthful and they're full of plump hydration, right? They just brighten up your house. And then as they start to lose their youthfulness, it starts to get kind of sad looking. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so glad you're not talking about me. Your middle-aged spouse.
No. But that's why it's so great honoring and using them. It kind of reminds me of
ways
how
to use it.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of how a lot of in the olden days, right? We humans would be so much more respectful and make use out of things. Get the full use out of things instead of have this one use culture where you just throw stuff away after one use. So I love it.
Very true.
I love it.
And we're going to have a lot of it too.
Yeah, this is a lot.
Yeah,
Are we thinking of doing
rose petals
gifts, like giving some maybe away as?
I was thinking just including it. Yeah. Or maybe we could do like a little giveaway, or if anyone is interested, if it comes out good, you can email us if you would want a little bit of
just
it.
If you're curious
to see how it turned out. Happy to send some to you. We're probably 2 weeks out still from when I think they will be dried.
Okay.
So we have some time.
We'll see how curious some people might be.
Yes. Email us info@siennaandtoast.com if you'd like some, and put roses in the subject line.
Roses.
And we will know that you are a brave soul wanting to try some of our repurposed roses.
Now, let's talk about Balooby. Let's talk about...
Why are you saying it like that?
Let's talk about saying goodbye to Balooby.
Bye-bye, Balooby.
Oh, Balooby. So, I don't know about you, dear listener, but in our little house here, there are some words that we just use between the two of us. And we know what it means. But now you're going to know what this one word means. And you guessed it. The
Balooby.
word is, Balooby.
What is Balooby?
Balooby. Okay. So I think the best way to share the definition of this word is just to use it in a sentence. That sheds more light on it.
Okay.
So we have to give context. So Sienna and I don't usually eat dairy products. You know, we don't buy cheese or
We don't eat,
full fat milk.
and we don't
from
eat a
the
lot
store.
of pasta.
Right. But this past Friday, we splurged and we partied and we ate pizza with real cheese on it.
I know, it was horrible.
Well, it was delicious.
Yeah, but I shouldn't have done it.
But the next day, we felt Balooby. So that's what Balooby means.
That's
it's
what
a
Balooby is.
feeling.
It's a feeling tone. It's just like,
It's a physical sensation of just feeling kind of puffy and Balooby. You know, Balooby.
it's very onomatopoeia-ish.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
People will know what
Balooby.
Balooby is. So it's a feeling. It's definitely a feeling. And with spring coming upon us, I was telling Toast, I'm like, we got to say bye-bye to this Baloobiness.
Because during the wintertime, I think there's a tendency toward Baloobiness.
Well, especially if you live in an area where it's cold, and I will qualify it's cold for you, for what you're used to.
Yeah, right.
Because a lot
people
of
in Wisconsin are listening to this and being like, "You guys,
I
that's
hope
not even
people in
cold."
Wisconsin are listening to this podcast. But yeah, like it's, you know, people don't think it's that cold. Like today, my dad sent me a picture of the snow on the Big Island right now.
on Mauna Kea.
And it's incredible snow right now.
It's
Right? It's like
yeah.
full, thick, white snow. And
in Hawaii.
yeah. And I asked him, or he said, you know, how cold is it there in Portland? And so I checked on my app, and it was at the time 33 degrees.
Okay.
So I sent it to him, 33 degrees. He goes, oh, it's 63 here.
Now for them, that's cold.
Right. So 33 degrees. Today was it felt extra cold to me. So one of the big things being born and raised in Hawaii, living a good many years in California, and then coming Southern California, and then coming over to Portland, is getting used to the weather out here. And as beautiful as it can be, with being able to participate in the seasons, true seasons, and feeling that, right? Because so much of it is the feeling of it is getting used to just getting a little fat out here. Because you get a little fat because your body
During
is
the
going,
wintertime, right?
Hey, it's cold.
Yeah,
Let's
you want to put
get
on
some
an
fat on you.
extra layer there.
Yeah.
to
So
stay
I don't
warm.
love that part of it. Definitely my diet out in Portland is very different from what it was in California.
In the wintertime, anyway.
Yes, you just can't eat the same way, you know?
But that's part of living in harmony.
That is harmony with nature, with the seasons. But I am done with Balooby.
Yes. So
It's done already.
it's time to take your flag and put it in the ground and say,
Unbaloobify.
Unbaloobify.
Yeah.
Saying goodbye to Balooby.
Yeah.
So we are just very excited about spring coming.
Springtime, yes.
And we have a renewed appreciation for what spring means. Honestly, the idea and the act of springing forth, all the buds coming out from the rose bushes, the new leaves on the trees, the plants.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
It springs forth. And
Hopefully we can spring
out of our Baloobies.
Yes.
Yeah. So hopefully we just want to shine a light on that energy
Yeah.
of springing forth.
Renewing.
It's the opposite of Balooby.
Yeah. It's fresh. It's light. It's buoyant. It's not thuddy and and
Cocoony.
ludgy and sludgy.
Hibernate-y.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Okay.
All right. So what are you going to do to help unbaloobify yourself?
Okay. So I am looking forward to doing some of my workouts and expanding the type of exercise that I do from all just the body weight stuff that I've been doing here in the house.
Yes.
Which I've been really enjoying. You know, there's a lot you can do just in your house using your own body weight and some pull-up bars and stuff. But about a mile away from our house, there's a new park and a playground complex.
Oh, it's shorter than a mile.
That has been built.
Yes, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. And so I'm really looking forward to taking a walk out there. That would be my warm-up. And then I get over there and I'll explore. Maybe I can do some jogging, work up to some sprints. I think.
Oh, yeah. There's that nice area right by that fence.
Yeah. I would really... I think I'd enjoy the novelty and the challenge of that.
Yeah.
Because it's been a long time since I did any kind of running, jogging, sprints, you know, shuttle run type of things.
Yeah.
And
that's exciting.
Yeah. I'm also a little nervous about being out in public and doing that because I'm just so used to having my workouts be private. You know what I mean? I do say that a lot. I was going to say, you know what I mean? So I do say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's something that I'm looking forward to challenging myself with physically, but also psychologically, I guess.
Yeah.
Being out there and, you know, it's like, who's this person just running back and forth? Because I don't see people doing that here. Really.
Well, maybe you will help lead by example.
Maybe.
And other adults will come out and go, hey, she did it. I can do it.
Maybe I
don't
can
have to be
run.
embarrassed.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's good.
So that's one thing. How about you? Anything you want to share?
So for me, I think it's really being able to embrace again those types of more warm weather foods. Okay. Foods that tend to be cooling for the system. Okay. Because I love just eating fresh and clean. And it's just... Fruits. I just feel better.
Yeah,
you know?
Fruits and veggies, right?
Fruits and salads and just all those yummy, you know, raw nuts and things like that. It just feels good.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to being able to eat that way. Mm-hmm. And as far as my workouts go, I feel like I think it's going to be easier to get into a better routine because it won't be as cold in the morning. Because I need to do my workout in the morning, where you do yours in the afternoon, right? And sometimes in the morning, it just feels so cold.
Yeah.
So all of that, I think it's going to help with the baloobiness. And I think if we can unbaloobify ourselves and really ramp up to the next winter.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Then there just will be more margin to Balooby again.
Oh, I see. Oh, you're planning
what I
ahead.
mean?
Yes, I do.
Just and to not let the Baloobies take us down, like you know. I mean, it's not taking us down.
Yeah.
It's just
well,
more,
at the same time,
you feel gross, right?
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. Again with the fine. Again with the balance.
Yes,
of living in harmony.
All right.
Right.
Okay. So I think let's move on to soba because I think this will help with it actually helps support non-baloobying. It's a balanced food actually.
Yes. So, okay. Soba. First of all, do all of you know what soba is out there?
No. Okay.
In case you don't know, soba is a type of, I guess, pasta, right? It's a noodle. We know it from both being of Japanese extraction, the Japanese culture, soba noodles. They're made of buckwheat. So instead of just regular wheat, made of buckwheat. And we thought, hey, if we can find soba noodles that really seriously have no wheat.
Because most soba is buckwheat and wheat.
That's right. So if we can find soba that truly has zero wheat, that's what we want. Because we have found a sensitivity to gluten here in the household. So I'm trying to eat as clean as possible, stay away from as much gluten as possible. And we actually found soba noodles that are made of buckwheat and sweet potato.
Right. But here's the thing. And that's what I say a lot. Here's the thing. It's not a lot of sweet potato. Like, I don't like sweet potato. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh, darn, this thing has sweet potato. But it doesn't even taste like sweet potato. And I think they threw in some of it just to give it that starchy vibe. Because you want, noodles are starch, right? So it's 95% buckwheat and just 5% sweet potato. It's great. And it's organic. So it's actually a wonderful option for your pasta vibes.
And hold on, guys, because
yes,
you will not believe, we can barely believe that we did this with the soba, but it's so wrong, right? What we did with the soba noodles.
I know. I'm sorry.
We
apologize in advance.
We used soba noodles instead of spaghetti noodles for spaghetti.
Right.
We made spaghetti. Well, Sienna made a great spaghetti sauce, vegan, with tempeh, right?
I don't remember.
Or something like it.
Time.
Yeah. But anyways, it was a nice, quote unquote, meaty sauce, but made with vegetarian materials there. And we thought, you know what? Let's just try and use the soba noodles. And it was a little weird because those soba noodles are...
It's like a putty or a khaki color.
Yeah, I was going to say light purple. They kind of have a dark, earthy, right? Purple, khaki color. Anyway, they do not look like spaghetti noodles. But we used them. It was a little weird when we first put it on the plate. I didn't put a lot on because I wasn't sure how it was going to work out.
You were like, I'm not buying this.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this. But...
it was so good, you guys.
It worked out. Yeah.
It was so good. You didn't miss having spaghetti. It was great. So I think for the spring and summer, we're going to really enjoy having soba in the house because it's so versatile. Like, you can do spaghetti now, and you can also have it the traditional way with the soba sauce and
Japanese
style
foods.
way and some green onions. You can also cook it and then fry it, like have some fried noodle
Well,
vibe.
we haven't done that yet, so
but I bet you can.
Well,
I can do it.
Okay.
I know I can do it. You can also do like a noodle salad, a cold noodle salad, right? Cold
soba salad. That's a Hawaii style salad with the kamaboko strips.
So there's so many ways to have it and
the scrambled
and
egg
embrace it. Just embrace it. Because like right now, I think if we were having a gluten-free pasta, the other one that I would say is actually really good is by Ancient Grains. And it's a combination of quinoa and corn. So a lot of times corn is a high allergen type food. You never know where your corn's coming from. Quinoa sometimes doesn't sit right with me. So it's kind of I don't know.
When you say that, you mean it upsets your stomach.
Yeah, like sometimes I have stomach ache after eating quinoa. So, but for those who aren't sensitive to quinoa, and if you're not sensitive to corn, Ancient Grains makes a fabulous pasta. And they do all different kinds of shapes and things like that. But for us, it's going to be buckwheat noodles. There's so many ways to have it.
So that was our geeky
Soba talk.
Yeah. For other people
oh my gosh,
who
so yummy.
do that kind of stuff.
I want to eat that. It's going to be so good. So, what else? Is that it for our variety show here?
Yeah. So we wish you less Balooby-ness as we go into spring. Thank you for hanging out with us. And
hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you did, please think of maybe sharing the podcast with someone that might be interested in today's topics. We would love that. You can also write a review. There's other ways to support the podcast. You can check it out on our website, siennaandtoast.com/contribute, where we list various ways to help us get the message across.
And what is that message?
Love life, live free, also live your love story.
You know what I'm saying?
Did I get
You
that
know what
right?
I mean? I just have to say, here's the thing. That's only an inside joke for people who listen to this entire episode and were paying attention.
All right.
Okay.
Right.
Until next time.
This is Sienna.
And this is Toast, reminding you to live your love story.
Do it.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing.